We are in live. Paul Rietzl versus Lucas Siow. That's Rietzl on the left in the red hat. Siow on the right, leaning back. Looks like we are resolving mulligans. Both players have decided the key. Siow comes out of the gate with Swamp, and Rietzl with the Rakdos Guildgate. Second Swamp, but no turn 2 play for Lucas. Transguild Promenade for Rietzl, and he pays for it with the Guildgate. So he's got his mana. You know, we talked about the fact that he may have some mana problems. He's got the Chromatic Lantern to help him fix it a little bit.
We talked about Siow's
and a key rune.
We talked about Siow's deck a second ago, and talking about how he was a fast Rakdos deck, and you never would have guessed that from that first 3 turns of the game.
It's turn 4 before he casts anything, and it's a Golgari Decoy.
Woo! Boy. I'm an aggressive Rakdos.
Golgari Decoy is the lone green card in his deck.
Yeah.
Oh my, never mind.
Yeah. All right, there's Spawnerix Madi for Rietzl on the back of the key rune mana. Looks like he's looking for a die to unleash it.
You know, I read his deck list wrong.
Told you there's some green filled
He is 4 colors.
Yeah, I was going to tell you that he's got a hypersonic dragon in his hand, and he's got the island to cast it with.
I realized that when I looked over on the into the multicolored cards and realized that there was a hypersonic dragon that was listed after already talking about, like, looking at his columns. There's a ton of black and red cards listed, and I knew the Golgari Decoy was in there right before he played it too. So this is
and the one thing about the decoy is it's a little bit bigger than previous decoy cards.
Certainly.
You know, there were anything with a lure mechanic on it, and it's got the scavenge. It costs 5 mana, but a couple of counters on that hypersonic dragon. This game could be over fast.
Yeah, no joke.
So Rietzl is certainly going to get in with the Spawnerix Madi.
No reason not to. Gotta stay.
Got to stay on par.
Close. Yeah. And Augur Spree. That's all it takes.
Well, he had to. I mean, he had to get that in before the scavenge could happen.
Look at that windmill right there. Slams that drain pipe vermin onto the table.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the cards he wasn't 100% happy about playing.
You're crazy. That guy's awesome. I mean, think about it now. He does have the black mana open too. I mean, if Siow wants to attack in, he has no. It's not his fault. He wouldn't block if he had the opportunity to. But it's just he has no choice. All creatures must block.
Right.
So I think that he's probably going to play that black. And I wonder if Siow's going to attack here.
Well, onboard tricks being onboard tricks. Lucas Siow probably will keep at some point a land in his hand.
Yeah.
He's got a handful of gas, and here comes the decoy. Like,
right.
Sure, make me discard.
Oh man.
Oh, and a Dynacharge.
He's going to double up. Dynacharge, pump it up so that we kill each other, and then after they die, I'm also going to suck a card from your hand.
17 piece. Go ahead.
Well, it costs him a pretty good card, too.
Yeah, that's true, but you don't really need, like, when his creature in play is a Spawnerix mod, you don't really need the Dynacharge head. It's already pretty giant.
Did we get the discard?
Looks like a Cackler.
Yep, Cackler.
Oh man, that's a card you don't see actually cast in too many decks. Skullrend there. And Skullrend is going to knock 2 lands, it looks like, out of Rietzl's hand.
So he's going to get in with the key rune.
That's why he got 2 lands, because the third one was also.
He's got the key rune and the Spawnerix Madi in. There's the Shred Freak.
Slashy haste man.
Knocking Siow down to 6, and he puts the flying enchantment on it.
Yeah. Pursuit of Flight.
Pursuit of Flight.
And then.
Oh, and then of course.
Hello, 6-2.
Big Papa.
We're hasty, and we're hastily going to game 2. Paul Rietzl, for a guy who wasn't happy about his deck, we've seen him win some games with it.
This is gonna be the match where weird things happen. Like if there's any match where weird things happen, I'm looking forward to seeing this one. And yeah, I mean.
All right, we're gonna get up to the David Williams Justin Naylor match.
I had that.
How much?
We join it already in progress. We see. Oh.
Maxim, how much scavenge do you have?
We see Dave has the crocodile on the top.
Hey, Dave. No way I don't want this, right?
Twice against me.
That's the only thing, right? The thing that we played
Yeah, we're looking at Crocodile, the Dagger Drum Imp.
So he's got
lots
some
of lifelink.
He's got some lifelink going on, whereas Naylor has down below the Frostburn Weird
Seeing a Stealer of Secrets.
and the Stealer of Secrets above it.
Lucas, you can have +2/+2 on tap and collective fight or whatever. You can have
Let's double check that those life totals are accurate.
and +2/+2 on
We
tap.
show them 20/20 on the screen. Fourth land drop for Naylor. Now we see adjustment to 19. He's going to come in with the Stealer Secrets that gets blocked by the Crocodile. Bumps the Frostburn Weird. Yeah. You know, I think some players might get seduced into keeping that Crocodile around for its lifelink, but that Stealer Secret just can't be allowed to draw cards.
Very true. I mean, lifelink, I would be willing to pay life to draw cards.
Yeah.
So.
All right, the Imp flies across.
Naylor's got himself a nice aggressive deck. I like this. I mean, Splatter Thug, a 3/3 first striker for 3. I mean, who cares if he can't block? When has that guy ever untapped other than the turn he comes into play?
Right. Naylor messing with his lands a little bit.
Naylor's got some pretty sweet.
Doing some land counting, and he's going to get in with both the Splatter Thug and the Frostburn Imp.
I was curious earlier.
Or splattering and burning.
Oh my goodness. If a Splatter Thug runs into a Frostburn Weird, you know what you get? Snow cones.
There you go.
Tabasco flavored snow cones.
All right, he's going to pump it for 2. Making it a 3/2, and there's the Vassal Soul.
I was curious as to why Naylor wasn't playing the pair, like at least one of the pair of magic or Chemist's Tricks that he's got in his deck, hadn't in the sideboard. I realized that after looking through his deck list that he has a Bluster Squall, which fills the exact same purpose, and he also has a Teleportal, which is the exact same thing. So he's got a lot of ways, if he doesn't actually finish things off before people start to stabilize, to just end games. But this game, it's not necessarily looking like he's going to need to. He's well ahead as far as the creatures on the board go.
All right, so Williams attacking in. Vassal Soul not biting on the block.
Too many combat tricks in this format. Must be scared of creatures when your opponent's playing forests. Even more so when they're playing forests and plains. All right, Williams is
Naylor going to reach back, get some advice from Lucas Siow, I think.
I mean, Williams passed the turn with 5 mana available and facing down a board of creatures. This is a what's going on moment for most players. Although there's a lot less to worry about coming from a black-green deck than there would be coming from any deck playing islands.
Right, he's got nothing to flash in.
Yeah.
All right, the Splatter Thug and the Frostburn Weird are going to get in there.
Interesting decision not to. Oh, he's probably worried about the +2/+2 and untap pump spell. What is it called again? Savage Surge. That's why he didn't attack with the Vassal Soul there. Would have been a nice blowout.
Right.
Wise decision.
Looks like Naylor is going to pump once.
Would imagine.
All right, that's going to take Dave Williams down to 8.
This was the most awkward possible.
And a Rune Wing.
With the spell mana available.
Sorry, Dave takes Dave down to 9.
And
he shows his handful of lands, and that sounds like
still had all trees. Shows him what his opening draw was, and shows him what the top of his deck was.
Wow. That's a beating of a draw. So Justin Naylor takes game 1 from Dave Williams. We are going to move off to the Maxim Grin Matt Sperling match. We are not. That's Grin and Sperling. Sperling has won game 1 apparently. And we're going to go to Rietzl Siow. Sorry for the confusion. There we are. There we see
Actually, I'm on my untap. No, I think I've got
Paul Rietzl with his Chromatic Lantern, so he's got his mana fixed, but he's got a Shred Freak.
It's on Moto.
Via Shino, what's the guy called? Racketeer in play. Via Shino Racketeer is one of those awesome new single-time looters. Lets you 2-1 for 3. When he comes into play, you can discard a card if you want to. If you do, he lets you draw a card to replace it. Really, really good in a deck that is kind of, I don't want to say the deck is all over the place, but a deck that has a lot of options and needs a lot of mana colors.
There's the Golgari long legs, so suddenly Paul Rietzl has a much bigger guy than Hasty Hatchet Man, but it's going to die to the Auger Spree.
Unfortunately, yeah.
All right, so
Yes.
if draw a card, discard a card is looting,
Yes.
what's discard a card, draw a card?
Rummaging.
Rummaging. Okay. So the Racketeer is a rummager, not a looter.
That is correct.
Lobber Crew.
Clobber you.
Okay, that's going to block either guy. Unfortunately, it's not going to hurt either guy, so Lucas Siow knows that he can get in.
Siow just wants to find a
damage.
land so bad too. He's got the Dagron in his hand right now. Oh. Easy block. Rietzl drops to 6. All right.
Yeah, comeback capability a little rough on this deck of Rietzl's. Is that an Auger Spree in his hand there?
He's got an Auger Spree. He's got a Towering Indrik. He has a Mangler. And
I think his problem is not the things in his hands. It's his life total being all the way down at 6.
That is definitely true. So
and he's gonna have to try to kill the Racketeer.
So Dreg Mangler comes into play.
Untaps the Lobber Crew,
Yeah.
which he's used to ping for a damage.
And he's attacking. Like, screw this. We're fighting.
You have to admire his. I had
Maxim Grin.
Maxim Grin.
Jamie Naylor.
Jamie Naylor.
Yeah.
Jamie. We had Justin on this list.
Oh yeah, that's wrong. It's Jamie Naylor.
Jamie Naylor.
Yeah.
Sorry to Jamie Naylor and all his. Oh my goodness.
Can I have your guy?
Oh.
That
urge, it's pretty treacherous.
Yeah.
That instinct, it's pretty traitorous.
It is. This is not a lot of fun because Rietzl's gonna have to.
Well, remember he still got the. Well, he doesn't have enough mana to cast the Auger Spree, does he?
Sure he does. He's got a Lantern, a land, and a.
Oh yeah, right.
Key
And
rune
a key rune on the bottom.
I mean, I doubt he's gonna do that. I'm pretty sure he's just gonna fire up the key rune, block his own Mangler, and then or no, block the 4/4, and then block like that, so he takes 3. I mean, that's acceptable.
Oh, he's looks like he's getting some.
It would be take 5. I'm sorry, he'd go to 1.
He's getting some feedback from his team. That his body language told me somebody off to his right didn't like his choice there.
Probably Sperling.
1 to 15, right?
All right, he's going to drop Siow to 15 with the Lobber Crew.
All right, he needs to be really careful here. He's probably going to drop that Indrik into play. That's definitely what I would do right here.
I'm keeping as well.
But man, unless he might have a read that Siow's got the dragon in play. Yeah, if Siow.
There's the Cobblestone Brute.
If this is a land, game's over. It is not. It's a one of the shade, if I'm not mistaken. Perilous Shadow.
Or Cobble Brute, not Cobblestone Brute.
Yeah.
Splatter Thug.
Splatter Thug as a
Leashed.
2/2 blocker. He needs to be able to stop that cobble. Cobble. Cobble.
Yeah, certainly Rietzl's only win here is throwing his guys into the red zone. I mean, he can't.
And doing it right though.
But he can't sit back.
He's not winning with Lobber Crew. Like
right.
He might ultimately win with a couple points from Lobber Crew, but it's gonna be because his creatures did like 17.
Right. Drag Mangler goes in. Lobber Crew pings Siow down to 7.
Oh my! Is it Rakdos Ringleader?
Once ever deck.
All right, another chance to draw a card. Do we draw land? We did not again. Man.
You have 2 cards in hand? 3.
Man, oh man, this is like
now,
nail biting.
Yeah. So Rakdos Ringleader, when he hits a player, they discard a card at random.
Yeah.
So he could catch Siow discarding his win condition.
True.
His 3/3 first striker, he regenerates for 1 black mana.
Yep.
So Rietzl at the very precipice of it. There's another Splatter Thug.
All right. Well, combat gets a little more tricksy right now. All right. I want to fight you. The question is, does Rietzl ping for 1, Augur Spree off one of the 2/2 first strikers, and that will enable him to attack with his 3/1 and the 3/3? Or does he simply attack with the 3/1 first striker for this turn? I mean, he could just attack with all 3 of his guys.
I mean,
if he attacks with all 3 of his guys, like there's not like Siow might trade off the 2/1 with the 5/2, and then my gosh, I don't know what he's going to do with that Ringleader. Turn them all sideways.
Yeah,
I'm done figuring things out.
No, well, I think
it's right.
I mean, his guys are better than Naylor's.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's got to worry about some sort of crackback. But I mean, the Splatter Thugs have to block.
Yeah.
So he's getting some talk. It's very animated hand motion.
I mean, he can
with
block
him and Matt Sperling.
Yeah, like no matter what the situation is. I mean, I guess the only situation. I guess he can't really do that. He can't do that because Siow can just block the 5/2 with 2/2 first striker, block the 1/3 first striker with something, and take the other 3 damage, then crack back with the 2 guys that are still alive. Yeah.
Right.
But even still, I mean, yeah, he's gonna be able to. Yeah, yeah, he can totally do that. Oh, except for now, he is thinking about. I bet he's thinking about the Augur Spree now. Yeah. Just turn him sideways, man. Do it. Do it. You can hear me. All right, yeah. So he's going the slow route.
That's steely nerve right there from.
All right, that is awesome for Rietzl because that buys him a turn.
Right, the hypersonic dragon can't kill him.
Yeah, and this is when Siow's going to draw the land because it's the least appropriate time. Oh, well.
Oh, it's going to be a guild gate.
So never mind, even worse. But then again, that's kind of the downside of running 2 Transguild Promenades and 2 Guild Gates in your deck.
I really better die right now.
Quarter of your mana base comes into play tapped.
Right.
Oh,
okay.
We should mention the Rietzl's playing 42 cards, by the way. I don't know.
Oh yeah, he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Another blocker down for Lucas Siow. Lobber Crew.
Augur Spree.
Augur Spree. Another dissension about which one to kill.
Yep.
But that's it. Paul Rietzl takes his match 2-0 from Lucas Siow.
Take that. His team was making fun of his deck when they sat down to draft, and
he's got them. He's got them most of the way there.
2-0-4-0 right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. That's okay. So that's Matt Sperling on the left. That's Maxim Grin on the right. And we're off.
Potentially the last game of Grand Prix San Jose.
We do promise you that the win, a game that wins this tournament will not happen off camera.
Yeah.
So they're holding the Naylor Williams match at the moment. Oh, they're playing?
Okay. It doesn't
that's
matter.
right. Naylor's up
Williams
one.
Is up one, yeah.
Right. So Matt Sperling takes this game. The Williams Sperling Rietzl team will have won. Grin's got to get his team back in it by taking this one.
And Gryn, I mean, Gryn's deck is good. Gryn has a very, very solid blue-white deck.
He doesn't have much right?
Lots of endgame bombs, a reasonable amount of like mid-game stuff. I mean, he doesn't have the.
It's a Dreg Mangler for Matt Sperling.
That it is. Man, 3/3 hasters for 3 are good.
It turns out.
And is that a Celestia Sentry? It looks like so. It's like Gryn chose not to block and decided to go ahead and go on the offensive as well. So, and then we have a
I don't think you understand.
Skyward
Skyward
Rock.
Rock.
Yep.
Solid as a rock.
Oh, minus XPs for Nate Price.
Why?
Decoy.
That was Hagon-esque.
Oh, well, I guess the difference is, in my head, I was making an Arrested Development reference, and not just singing a song for no reason.
All right, Arrested Development redeems you.
All right.
All right, the Mangler gets in again, and Sperling just passes the turn, so Maxim has to wonder what's up.
Yeah. So this is the first time we've seen Sperling pass the turn with no plays. And
Well, aerial predation is certainly a possibility.
certainly.
You can put one of your.
We're going to see another. He's got a pair of ethereal armors. That's pretty sexy. 2 different creatures get +2/+2 in first strike.
Yeah.
He's also seen the aerial predation, so he needs to be careful. I don't know if he might. I mean, at this point, you just pedal the metal and go.
Yeah, that's fine.
Gotta be afraid of something. I mean, you gotta be afraid. We can find a better time for this.
He's just going to get in. And if
Yeah.
you got something, I mean, my guys on the board are better than your guys on the board right now. So,
Yep, and there's an abrupt decay.
takes the 3 from the rock.
I'm gonna avoid a smell what the rock is cooking joke, because
Thank you.
he definitely smelled something was up from Sperling. That's why he didn't go ahead and.
And the Sunspire Griffin is
Enchant
the
there.
replacement. So a little bit of an upgrade.
Certainly. Sperling once again just attacks for 3, passes the turn.
Like total stands, Grin at 11, Matt Sperling at 14.
And this is looking like it's going to be an ethereal armor on the Griffin, followed by a Seller of Songbirds,
Make a million dudes.
Singer of Cell Secrets.
So Songbirds it is. So suddenly Matt Sperling is facing down quite a little flying army.
Yeah, and Sperling's going to find himself in a even bigger heap of trouble if Maxim Grin is able to find himself a 5th land, because he's got a Void Wielder in his hand. He's going to be able to come down, return whatever Sperling finds for himself on this turn, and provide himself a nice 1/4 blocker to keep the rest of his life total safe from that 3/3 Dreg Mangler. Well, let's see what we find here.
Well, the Mangler's probably getting in since.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Grin's guys all fly, except for the Seller, right?
Yep, and that Seller is. I mean, it's possible that he chumps with the Seller here, but at the same time, probably not. Got a couple turns to worry about that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Yeah.
6, 7, 8. I mean, he's got 8 if he attacks with the Seller.
Yeah.
3, 6, 7, 8.
All right, and that's the game. This is going to be the game because.
Courser's Accord is not going to be able to stop those guys.
Nope, Grin's going to play
There's
the
the
second
one.
one,
Yep.
and that's going to be the game.
All right, so Maxim Grin takes game 2, evening his match with Matt Sperling.
So, should we check in and see how far along we are on the Naylor Williams match?
We're gonna pop up to the A match.
All right.
There's Jamie Naylor and Dave Williams. Once again,
Goodness me.
apologies to Jamie for calling him Justin for half the match.
So, I'm a little confused. Like, didn't we see a Corpse Jack Menace in Sperling's deck earlier?
That was in the previous.
You want to bet?
Really? They both have a Corpse Jack Menace?
Yeah, yes,
That's
they do.
absurd.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
So Splatter Thug for Jamie Naylor, Corpse Jack's Menace, Golgari Decoy, Karate Guild Mage, all for Dave Williams.
Corpse Jack Menace is such a beating. Like, in addition to just being a terribly efficient creature at 4/4 for 4 with an easy mana requirement in cost, I mean, the ability, if you even get to use it one time, is insane.
Yeah, and I mean, certainly Dave theoretically could be playing Common Bond.
Yeah. I think it's even more interesting to see it in Sperling's deck, where Sperling's got a few of the Unleash guys, because of the interaction that is just kind of one of those side interactions that you don't really get to see come into play very often. Right. Getting to actually get additional counters, and yeah, so. And
Naylor just scoops him up, so that match is evened up at 1-1. So we're setting up we're setting up quite a run to the finish here. We've got Rietzl, Sperling, Williams up a game, or excuse me, up a match. The other two matches are tied at 1-1. We're going to pop back down to the Maxim Grin Matt Sperling match. So, if Sperling or Williams, if either Sperling or Williams wins, this thing's over.
Yeah.
If they both lose, Canadians win the match, we go to round 3 of this final.
Sudden death.
Sudden death.
Best of 3 sudden death.
Well, yeah, so it's sudden death. Well, it's overtime like in the NFL now.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah, each team gets a possession.
Well, yeah, we're gonna be nice.
Yeah, right.
This has been fun magic. This has been a lot of fun magic.
Yeah.
These finals, like, I'm actually kind of sad that Paul's done like with this match so far. Like, I really enjoyed watching like his deck do things. Like, wanted to see what was gonna come. Although I think Sperling's deck can provide us that exact same kind of intrigue, because he's got some nice little interactions in his deck. It's a lot of fun stuff that can kind of pop out there, assuming he spends his turns doing things instead of not doing things.
A lot of planes for Maxim Grin. Let's keep. And it's Dryad Militant on turn 1 for Matt Sperling. So he's going to start. He's going to start with the early pressure.
Real Kill Assassin comes in with that +1/+1 counter on it. That's a terribly aggressive start from Matt Sperling. This is more creatures than we've seen on his side of the board in a while. And just like that, Maxim Grin's down to 14 and facing down, well, still 2 attackers, but things are only going to get worse when Sperling is able to untap and start using his mana to make more dudes. All right.
There's Cellar Songbirds.
Stems the bleeding when you're facing against a 2/1.
Right. Trickle Assassin, of course, is a 2/3 with Death Touch.
Enables it to get around a lot of those terribly efficient trades that people tend to make with the smaller creatures against the larger ones that you see that happen a lot in this format too.
Grin certainly takes the 2. Matt Sperling flips 2 cards out, taps them all for the. That's not the monitor. That's
that's the monitor.
Is it the monitor?
Yep. Corrodes the monitor.
Corrodes the monitor. It's 3/3. It's got Scavenge.
Also has Trample.
Also has Trample.
Not only is it a good card to let die, that way you can scavenge it back, it's a good card to
just
target.
Attack with.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good card to attack with. It's a good card to target with the rest of your guys, or the rest of your scavenge dudes. It's a good card.
Yep.
Corrodes the Monitor. Very powerful card. And there we see a little bit of armor there.
Ethereal armor on the Selesny Sentry.
It seems to be a very popular target for that enchantment.
Yeah. Okay, a little more conversation going on between Matt Sperling and Paul Rietzl. A little whispered hand, like when the catcher and the pitcher talk. Everybody puts their glove in front of their face.
Yeah. Beats hand signals in this case.
Right. Yeah, I'm surprised that some team hasn't learn to speak Klingon or something so that they can just communicate freely.
I do like the fact that, like especially American teams, they have to use that as a resort because they don't like everyone else speaks English for the most part, so they're able to hear that. Whereas if you're a Japanese player and you dip into Japanese, unless you're sitting across the table from like Ben Swartz or Ron Foster, like.
All right, that hand wave was not a pass to the turn for Matt Sperling. It was a, yeah, we're just going to get in there.
Yeah.
Dry Milk stays back. So the 2-3 throw kill assassin, the 3-3 trampling monitor, and there looks like there could be an end. There's not an end.
Interesting. What is he trying to represent here to Maxim Grin? He has a 4-3 first striking creature in that sentry.
Well, he's obviously representing Common Bond or Giant Growth.
Yep.
You can.
Is he going to bite?
I think he has to.
The question is, what's he going to bite?
It looks like he says, I'm going to take that.
He doesn't look too pleased with like his options here.
Right. Well, it's a weak situation, especially since he's got no mana up.
Yeah.
He's got no tricks of his own.
And he's at 12, so it's not like he can be like, all right, well, I'm just going to take it this time and try to get. Let's see. I've actually got a copy of Sperling's deck list.
Thinking about it. Thinking about it.
He has a chorus of
Looking at his cards now. How can I come back from this next time?
He's got a chorus of might, 2
Okay,
giant
there's
growth.
the block.
Looks like a Golgari charm.
There's the Golgari charm. So he's going to
destroys target enchantment. That mode of it is going to cause the trade there.
He's going to take 2 from the Thrill Kill Assassin, dropping Maxim Grin down to 10. Okay, once again, we're holding the Williams-Naylor match just in case that Maxim Grin wins this. We wouldn't want a match-ending
Yeah, we watched way too much Magic this weekend
for it to happen off camera.
Exactly.
Right. Oh, and by the way, this thing's over. Yeah, we definitely don't want that.
Hopefully neither do you. I mean, it'll be nice when we finally have the opportunity to present the champions with their trophy, but I'd kind of like to see how they got there first.
Yeah, right. All right, just a pass from Matt Sperling after that combat, where he got rid of, I mean, he certainly got rid of a significant threat.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was a 2-for-2 trade, but it was a 2-for-2 trade that I think certainly benefited Sperling, considering he's seen multiple enchantments out of Grin and knows that thing can actually probably get out of hand. Plus, First Strike is really damaging to a creature-based deck like the Golgari deck is.
So the bird comes in. Oh, it's big. Oh, it's the Void Wielder.
Just a little temporary reprieve. Doesn't really do a whole lot because, I mean, 1/4 is not that great against any creature with Death Touch. Unless, I mean, a 0-power creature with Death Touch. Yeah. Probably pretty fine.
Yeah. All right. Sperling, Rietzl sort of in the tank together there. Just recasting the Thrill Kill Assassin and unleashing it. Passing the turn.
All right.
Gryn draws a Plains. You see what that blue card is that he has in his hand? Do the Marshall Cyclip Neck Crane.
That's another Void Wielder, it looks like.
All right, here comes the bird.
Deck list. How good am I? Void Wielder number 2. Yep.
Yep, it's certainly, and now that he tips it toward us, we see it. I mean, that seems like a temporary solution for him at best.
Yeah. He has 6 mana available. Man, this is going to be an interesting.
And 2 blue, so he can be representing, flashing a couple of different things in.
Yeah, which, I mean, at this point, honestly, I don't think Sperling cares about that. He's
right.
more than willing to trade that for
the
Drake. Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, it could be either the Hussar Patrol, which I'm pretty sure he's ready to go, or the Skyline Predator. Just doesn't care in the slightest. Yeah, if you have that, please play it in block.
Right. There's the Dreg Mangler. So
Main phase B.
main phase number 2, second main phase. And Grin is looking over to Lucas Siow for a little advice. She's not going to do anything.
Does Gryn have a Tristani's Judgment in his deck?
Here comes the bird.
He does. He does have Tristani's Judgment in his deck.
Sperling drops to 17. He has Grin a little bit on the ropes here with 8 life. Grin.
He's holding 2 other cards that he is making it very difficult for me to see.
Yeah, we know that one's Void Wielder,
Yeah.
and one is a Plains.
The other 2 are not. What a jerk. Can't see his cards. All right, this is a second Void Wielder. Going to take yet another turn.
Right, I mean, the Void Wielder blocks the Dreg Mangler all day.
Yes.
Until it gets scavenged onto.
He doesn't have any cards in his graveyard with Scavenge that may at one point have been a 3/3 trampler in play. Stop with your nonsense.
Once again, the conference between Sperling and Paul Rietzl.
Which is entirely possible. It is just Paul Rietzl leaning over and go, dude, seriously, just finish this game. My flight is at 10. My flight is at 10. Finish this game.
Just coming up on 8:45 p.m. local time here in San Jose, California. If you've just tuned in, we are in the finals of Grand Prix San Jose 2012. Once again, a big thanks to tournament organizer Tim Shields, putting together a terrific event, very, very smooth. Head Judge Toby Elliott, the secondary head judge Damian Hiller on day 1. 1,723 players, so that's 571 teams played here this weekend.
Yeah, there were an absolutely monstrous.
I think there's an
number of teams.
aerial predation in Sperling's hand, that second card up.
That looks like it to me, yeah.
Got a forest.
Yeah, okay. So, militant? Yeah.
Ooh, there's a lot of mana, and there's the scavenge. On to the Dryad Militant.
Yep. And the Dryad Militant was doing absolutely nothing. And now he's got a 3/3 and another creature that can attack. I mean,
Right.
at some point, that 3/3 might become relevant.
Right.
Brick City.
Dryad Militant is a 5/4 now. Bird comes across. Brisk untap from Matt Sperling. I believe his draw was a swamp. But those, here comes the suddenly gigantic Dryad Militant. It's a 5/4.
Just picturing this little Dryad that's wearing a bunch of pieces of what used to be a lizard. I would stay out of the way of that too.
The problem for Maxim Grin here now is he's down to a single card.
Yeah.
Which means he doesn't have as many tricks as he might want for this kind of match.
But he does. I mean, he has lots of stuff that will just turn the game.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's
like,
got 2 cards in his hand.
Yeah, I mean, he's got multiple cards that will just turn the game around. He's got like the new Prov Guildmaid is really, really good in this particular instance. He's got the Sphinx's Revelation that might do something at some point. I mean, if he gets that, the life gain and the card drawing just puts him well ahead at this point. And he still has massive guys. Like he's got Paralyzing Grasp, which can actually lock down those creatures. He's got the Sphinx of the Chimes. Like his deck is very, very solid.
For the 3rd time, we see the Thrillkill Assassin.
And here it is. Vomit on cardboard.
Draw 5, gain 5. Sphinx's Revelation brings him back up to 8, fills up his hand, and he has 8. I mean, he has 8 mana in play.
Yeah.
So he can probably do a number of things. That has to be a non-good sign for Matt Sperling.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that Sperling can say is he has the advantage right now. Like, he might not have the cards in hand. It's still up to Grin to get back into it. But, yeah, this is not awesome for him.
It's a lot better for Grin than it was a second ago.
Yeah, certainly. Like, I mean, Sperling still, like, as soon as he casts that, probably looked at him and goes, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, Lucas Siow reaching in, talking with Maxim Grin about how they're going to plan out this turn. Again, this is the strength of the team's format. You can,
Yes, sir.
you don't have to do it alone. You can go in with your teammates. Especially, there's a long-term. He's got to be planning a long-term strategy here.
Oh, certainly.
Sunspire Griffin we see is one of his cards, but the Phantom General is the one that he's going to cast because that's going to make the bird one larger. So Matt Sperling will drop down to 14. Oops. There's the Sunspire Griffin. And then there, at the bottom of the screen.
And now things are interesting again.
Yeah.
Well, things have always been interesting. Now they've gotten interesting from a different perspective.
In a different fashion.
We've reached that point of the game we like to get to, and there's just like 10 things on the table now. Decisions become difficult. Let's do some combat math. So this is why I like the team formats, because I am terrible at this kind of stuff. So I can just be like, all right, I don't know what to do. This is what I've got. You guys want to play this turn for me?
Right.
You point at cards. Log on to my Magic Online account and play this match for me.
Right. Right, that's the new prop guild mage down at the bottom. First time we've seen that. It can give a creature flying, or it can detain a non-land permanent.
Which is the important ability. That costs 5, right?
Correct.
So it's a little expensive, but Grin's got the mana to spare right now.
8, I believe, at last count. Or did he play another land? That's 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
9.
8, 9.
He did draw 5 cards, and I guarantee at least one of them was a land.
So Matt Sperling gets in. The Void Wielder blocks the Dreg Mangler. And it looks like the other Void Wielder is going to speed bump the Dryad Militant. No, they're talking about it.
And they're trying to figure out, because it's...
Yeah, that's what I'm
they
saying.
don't know. He's dead to a pump spell if he doesn't block, even just chump block. Trying to figure out what the proper creature to chump block with here is.
If we put there and he has might on the big guy, what happens?
It'll be 9, so 4, 5 trample plus.
So a little discussion.
Yeah.
Like, can we lose if we get
1 point of damage is not going to be significant.
Yeah, he might consider...
We might consider Call of Might is a thing.
It is a thing. Yeah, the question is, what do they fear that he has? Because he has planes in play, and he has forests in play. So you have to assume that he has everything.
Right. Common Bond is one of the things he might have. It's
in his
as
deck,
simple as Giant Growth.
Yeah, he actually has 2 Giant Growths and a Call of Might in his deck.
Wow.
So we might see one of them.
Call of Might would make somebody +4/+4 in trample.
Yeah, Call of Might would end the game right here. +4/+4 in trample.
And again, Grin's got to be very, very careful about his blocks because he doesn't have any mana up.
Yeah. The
All right.
downside of being behind, you have to spend mana to get ahead.
Right. So, the only one getting through is the Thrill Kill Assassin.
Security key in your pocket and have us completely locked out of our
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess Call of Might would be it would drop Grin to 1 in this spot. He has a Giant Growth in his hand. I can see it there. Does he have a Giant Growth and Call of Might? He would be.
Well, if he does, that's
he's
game.
slow rolling him right now. If that's the case.
Yeah, that's a super slow roll if it is.
Which, I could totally see Sperling doing, but he wouldn't be slowering Grin, he'd be slowering Paul. He would be slowering the situation.
Well, no, because at this point, Rietzl would be screaming at him to play the cards.
Yeah.
Right now?
3-headed giant agrees.
There's the Call of Might. He does have both.
There's Call of Might on the Dreg Mangler. So he's going to give the Dreg Mangler +4/+4. Means he's going to trample over for 3.
4, 5, so he's going to let him drop to 3. Could have sworn I saw Giant Growth in his hand. Maybe I'm wrong.
That's Arrow Predation on the top. That's
okay,
not Giant Growth.
It was, yeah, no. That was the card I thought was Giant Growth. My bad.
He's got him to 3, but now he's got to deal with that new prop Guild Mage.
Yeah.
Phantom General is going to make his birds litter there, and there's the 10th mana, so he can detain 2 things now.
What he doesn't know is Sperling also has a is it Dread Returns.
You
The
have
name of
no
the card.
guys in your yard? Is that all RPG?
I have no graveyard.
That can't be the name of that card. What's the Dread Returns the regrowth or the what's the card that gets a card back out of the graveyard? He's
Oh,
got-
the black-green one?
Yeah, he's got that card in his hand, so he can get back the call of.
Oh, that's a no, that would be a beating.
Yeah, Treasured Find. That's what it's called.
Treasured Find, right.
Yeah. So he's got that. That's the other card in his hand.
All right, so Gryn at 3.
We have to start attacking. Right?
Discussions.
What are you testing? Just Sunspire. Sunspire. All right, declare.
Yeah.
And there goes the Griffin. Sperling's going to drop to 12.
And he untaps quickly. Draws his card is a swamp. Now he's got to figure out, can he win this game? Now the Treasured Find.
So stop both of those. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, Arrow Predation is going to kill the bird.
Yeah, I got a 14 birds dead. Trigger general. Go ahead.
Sperling and Rietzl, very cool customers in this situation. The thing is, I mean,
Okay.
Grin has to spend 10 mana to stay alive each turn.
This is true. But, I mean, at this time, he's got things quote-unquote locked up, but pretty sure this does it right here with a Treasured Find to get back Call of Many.
Right, because he's got...
Send my attack.
Yeah.
No, I mean, the Griffin is 3/3 right now.
Right, so +4/+4 and trample. He'd,
Oh, right, because he's got 4 guys.
yeah, because, I mean, I guess he would have to double block if that was the case, but...
Yeah, it
not
seems like
going
a
to, yeah.
seems like a dangerous...
I mean, at that point, you force him to double block, and then you blow out. He'll have no permanent slots in play. He can't do that anymore. So.
Right. There's another blocker there for Maxim Grin. Yeah, I mean, what was the downside of not?
I mean, he's still got his cards in hand, so it's entirely possible. He's got to do it like Treasured Find's a sorcery, so he has to do it at sorcery speed.
Right, he can't combat trick it.
Yeah, but then again, if like Grin's gonna do any sort of like any counter spells or something to stop things, like it's going to. Like, I'm actually not sure why he didn't do that.
Grin draws an island that he's gonna have to play because he needs more mana. But I mean, now we get to the insane. He has 15 mana.
Yeah.
He's detaining 3 guys, and suddenly Sperling's got no attacks.
True. I mean, all he's trying to do is trying to buy time until he finds a way to not have to spend 5 mana every single turn to stop creatures. So, I mean, he has methods in his deck of getting to that point. Hunt through and find his deck list. There we go. Yeah. I mean, when he draws like a Knightly Valor.
Yeah, maybe Rashad Miller will be able to tell us why he didn't regrow that.
Maybe he doesn't have to regrow. Maybe I'm crazy. He doesn't have regrowth. I mean, that's a very likely possibility. I've already been wrong once about the cards in his hand.
Okay, so we're going to detain just the Dryad Militant.
I'm pretty sure that card in the middle of his hand right
Is
there
Treasured Find?
is Treasured Find.
Dave Williams sticks hand in and says, "Hey, play that."
Smiter.
Locks it on Smiter. That's the first time we've seen him this weekend.
Oh, because of his own creature. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's right. His Dryad Militant
Yep.
exiled it. That's why. All right. Thanks to whoever gave us that
Whoops.
information. Rashad Miller.
Yeah, yeah. It's clearly not him. Someone in the chat's in there like berating us for not being able to see what's going on. I mean, I would too. I get it.
There's Tristani's Judgment on the Dryad Militant.
Yeah. But we don't have a bird no mo.
There is indeed nothing to populate.
And this is, the longer this game goes, the better it is for Maxim Grin.
Sure, because remember the new prop guild mage can give guys flying too.
Yeah, I mean, he's got so many cards that are just, he's got multiple cards that just end games. So, and I don't know if Sperling can say the same.
Yep, he's giving a guy flying right now. Let's get in.
Yep, and now the army's coming out. Yeah, this is Brown Town. All right, what's Sperling going to find?
That precinct captain is gonna get uncomfortable for Matt Sperling pretty quickly.
Yep. All right, stop the two biggest guys. Yep.
Sorry, you guys, they can't attack or block.
Go ahead.
I mean, Sperling finding a giant growth here is not too bad for him, but it's going to be a little too late for him.
Yeah, I mean, he's certainly not going to catch Grin with his pants down at any point.
No. Yeah.
So this is a slow control.
I mean, it's not going to be for too much longer. Like, next turn, he's able to lift all of his guys up and attack for the win.
Okay.
Wow, that's a little bit cheaper of a detain.
Right. So the arrestor comes down.
Yep. Next, this is Sperling's last turn. Looks like this game's going to go to Grin. Like, Grin next turn gets to lift all of his guys up with the Purdue Prop Guild Mage and attack for the win. If he chooses to be that reckless.
Right.
Like,
I mean, he's seen the one aerial predation already.
yeah. I mean, it would surprise me greatly if he didn't attack for at least 4 on this upcoming turn. Find it far more likely he just attacks for. Yeah. He's got enough mana to lift 2 guys, so.
And the Griffin already has flying.
Yeah, he won't attack with that though. That's holding off a throw kill assassin. I mean, he's going to lift up his precinct captain. He's going to lift up, I mean, a token. It doesn't really matter.
Soldiers like to fly.
Yeah, I mean, he might actually be better off lifting up his arrestor, just in case. Might need the extra point of toughness on defense for some reason. Seems like a safer play.
Okay, Lucas Siow coming in with a little advice.
But then, oh, they can attack the next turn, right? Yeah.
I wonder if they're discussing exactly what to do on this turn as far as what's going to attack and what's not going to attack. Yeah, those are the 2 that I figure he attacks with.
Yeah, fly the precincts. Attack for.
Okay, so just 1. Is he 1 mana short of being able to lift up 2 guys? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, he's got both. Yeah.
No, I mean, remember, at a certain point, he's going to have enough guys on the ground to just overwhelm him.
Yeah, I mean, in either case, it's rough for him to alpha strike.
Oh, you're saying no, sorry.
He's at 3 life. A lot of things can go wrong. The downside is this is one of those weird situations, like you don't want to give your opponent too many turns. If you give your opponent too many turns, they draw something.
Yes.
But you got to be careful, like, you know, what your odds are of killing your opponent right now are versus what your odds of him drawing something that allows him to kill you. I get in trouble a lot in these situations because I'm the one who will only attack for 2 for 5 or 6 consecutive turns. My opponent will just beat me. Whereas if I'd just been smart and attacked for 6 on 1 turn and then killed them on the following turn, I'd live.
Right.
Do you need one really? We're gonna fly the precinct captain. And get
So there's a Knightly Valor. It's going to do wonders. Not only does it give him a blocker, but it gives this guy vigilance. So when he lifts him up and attacks with him, he doesn't. Yeah.
Yep.
And that's gonna be the game.
Yeah. Okay. Maxim Grin, in dramatic fashion, on the back of Sphinx's Revelation, gets back into the game.
Yeah.
And beats Matt Sperling. So we're going to go to the top match, which is Jamie Naylor and David Williams.
The chair that Clint Eastwood debated against. Against
Looks
the
like
empty chair.
Looks like David Williams has taken a hospitality break.
He's probably feeling nerves. Like I don't think he's used to being in high-pressure situations.
Right.
Yeah, detain. All right. Well,
Oh, man.
still has to win so that we win.
One thing I do like about this is Jamie Naylor's deck is so sweet. Like, I love getting to watch. I mean,
It is 1-1.
Naylor's deck is sweet and Dave Williams' deck is sweet. Like, it's just, all of these decks in the top 8 are sweet. Even the ones that look really, even the ones that go Hypersonic Dragon off of my Overgrown Tomb. Like, those decks are still sweet. You never know what you're going to get. Hey, and there we go. There's a person in that seat.
They've already resolved mulligans. Jamie Naylor starts with an island. Dave Williams with a forest. There's the mountain for Jamie Naylor. And the Electromancer.
I love Electromancer. I like playing things for less mana.
What do you think about Unleashed Guys for David Williams?
I love Unleashed Guys for David Williams. I like when they come into play with +1/+1 counters.
Yeah. All right, there's the Steeler Secrets.
We'll fight.
Yeah.
Let's fight.
Again, the Steelers is something that Dave Williams just can't let hit him too many times. The card advantage is just too significant.
Yep.
And he's straight up just killing it.
Stab you with a knife in the stomach.
I think it's more. I think it's the wounds in the thigh on the.
Oh no,
picture.
no, it's right in the stomach. We'll pull this start right here. Now you know why I've been calling it gut shot all weekend. Where are you, stab wound? Check it out, right there, right in the gut.
That picture's a little small for my aged eyes. Let me look at it here online.
Zoom it up real fast. So Viashino Racketeer, not Rocketeer. That would be a totally different card.
That's on the side over there.
That would be the exact definition of your gut.
No, the gut would be. The gut's more in the middle.
You're telling me if I punched you there, you wouldn't be right in the gut. You'd be, directly below my ribs, a little bit off to the side.
No, if you punched me, I'd be saying, "Why do you want to die, Nate Price?"
Yeah, good point. What are you talking about? I got to reach on you.
That's a Viashino Racketeer up top for Jamie Naylor.
Discard's a Bluster Squall.
And there's a Golgari Decoy for David Williams.
I am going to assume that Naylor is probably not going to do too much blocking unless he wants to... Oh, yeah, wow. 5 mana, Void Wielder. Yeah, just pick that guy right back up. Attack for 4.
And he's laying pressure on.
Oh my! And
remember, this is the deciding game and deciding match of round 2 here in the finals. If Naylor wins this, we go to a 3rd round. David Williams wins this. The Williams Rietzl Sperling team wins the tournament.
Dun dun dun.
Dave Williams consulting with his teammates.
Consults the Oracle.
On the direction.
He's got to look over to Sperling. They delineated themselves as such. You've got Williams is the looks.
The Creeper Vine comes down for Dave Williams. Okay.
Sperling is the brains.
Okay.
And Rietzl's the wild card.
Okay. And he gets plain. Gate Creeper Vine doing pretty good work in 3-color decks.
Yeah, Gate Creeper Vine just doing work. That card's good.
Yeah. Funny thing is going to fix your mana. And another stab wound on the Electromancer.
Yeah.
So Dave Williams being very stabby.
Can't blame him. I mean, sometimes you got to shiv a dude.
Right. Sometimes a guy's got to get got.
Yep. And that goblin, he got. Yep. Decisions. Do I bounce the Gate Creeper Vine and attack? That can't be right.
Yeah.
We are not
Get you for 3.
He's going to get in there for 3, which is a quarter of Williams' life total, so it drops him down to 9.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely can't bounce the Roustabout because he doesn't want to give him a chance to replay it without
right.
Unleash.
Roustabout. goes on the offensive. Frostwheeler's going to block, of course. Sorry, Voidwheeler's going to block. Comes the Gate Creeper Vine.
All
Dave
right.
Williams got a lot of cards in his hand. Getting more mana to cast them.
I mean, he's played a 2-mana spell on 2 consecutive turns that draws him a card.
right now.
Played Wall of Blossoms.
You're right.
Spins his deck. Better than Wall of Blossoms. Except for an 0-2 and not an 0-4.
Right. Yeah, Wall of Blossoms does a lot more work. There's the Golgari Decoy.
I've played Wall of Blossoms, and you, sir, are no Wall of Blossoms.
Yeah.
Naylor needs a weird here.
Well, I mean, Frostwheeler and the... excuse me, once again, the Voidwheeler.
Yeah.
And the...
Oh, man, that is a teleport. What is that, teleporter? Teleport crazy card? Teleportal. There we go. All of his dudes are unblockable and +1/+0. Is that what it is?
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
5, 6,
7. Dropped to 2 and still had all trees.
That's the
We're
same.
going to the
That's
final.
that's
Oh,
the
yeah.
same hand that David Williams had last time.
Yep. He even thinned his deck out with 2 lands.
Jamie Naylor, on the comeback trail for the Canadian team, sends this final into a 3rd round.
Sends this final into a final.
into a sudden death final. So we're gonna go to another series of matches.
Yep. So what's our final rounds of matchups?
You've got the list in front of you. Figure it out.
Okay. Continue what you're saying.
We're gonna go into a 3rd and final series of matches. The players are all gonna play someone they haven't played yet, like a true 3-on-3 draft. So it looks like we are gonna have Rietzl Naylor.
I want to say that it is
Siow Sperling, I think you're right.
this.
And Williams Grin.
Yeah.